Hi everybody, it's Mindy and welcome back to another art video. So in this video I decided to do another painting video, which is kind of like a follow-up to my last painting video. That painting video is pretty old, mind you, but if you guys want to go check that out, but I mean, like, I don't mind. You can do whatever you want, but I'll leave a link in the description or the end card if you do want to go check out that old painting video. I was pretty energetic in that other video, like a little too energetic for my own good, but if you still want to go check that out, I won't judge. I won't stop you. Just, you can do whatever you want. So I don't really have a topic to talk about in this video. I guess I'll just kind of ramble on and talk about the painting itself and a little bit of art advice I have when I was painting this painting, and like the problems I went through and how I managed to solve them. And yeah. Although I do apologize, this video is pretty long, and like I said in my other longer videos, which I just realized I've been doing a lot of longer videos lately, and I don't know if you guys like that, but if you want to sketch along with me, just pull out your sketchbook, paint, or draw along with me, and yeah. Also, I do wonder, like when I make these longer videos, if you guys actually take out your sketchbook and sketch along, or if you just kind of watch the video for itself. Like, that's what I want to know. Let me know in the comments if you actually took out your sketchbook and sketch along, or you just watch the video as a video. That's something I want to know. But yeah. Anyway, about the painting, and I was painting a wave, if you can't really tell, even though like if I'm gonna be honest with you, while I was painting, I kind of got a little disoriented. Like, when I stare at it too long, it doesn't really look like a wave anymore, but to you guys, it may look like a wave, but I kind of stare at it maybe a little too long, you know, and it kind of morphed into something else. But now that I look at it now, it looks kind of like a wave painting that maybe I stylized just a tad bit. But yeah, and I do technically really regret what am I, in kindergarten? But I do really regret not printing a picture of this wave painting that I'm painting right here, because it's really hard to match the colors, like just from my phone. It's just really hard. So if you're painting on a canvas like I'm doing here, I really recommend you just like print a picture of the reference you're using, because it's a lot easier to color match that way. And I do have like a lot of trouble trying to color match this darn thing, and there is a lot of repaints, but I try to cut those out because I know it's technically just me repainting over and over and over and over just to get the right color from my reference. And yeah, I think I was pretty close. So maybe next time I'll print a picture of my reference and just, yeah. It may not look like my reference, but I mean, it is kind of stylized in a way, I guess. Not technically realistic. It's more of like a stylized version of a wave, because like the bubbles aren't technically realistic, but yeah, I think it looks pretty cool if I do say so myself, but you may have different opinions. And I'm sorry if this voiceover is everywhere right now. I've been rusty, okay? I'm sorry. But yeah, this painting actually didn't took me as long as I thought it would. It approximately took me about like 5 days to a week. I actually thought I took 2 weeks, but when I look back at my planner, when I was planning to film the video, I actually filmed it within like 5 days or a week, like I said. And I was really surprised because I thought I spent longer on it. Maybe it's just because that in those days I film, I just spend a lot longer on it, because I remember there's this one day that I technically spent the whole day painting. Like, I probably painted at like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or something like that, but it's kind of like these little details, so in my head it didn't really feel as long, but it took like so long. And most of the time I don't really want to try to rush the painting, because I know if I rush it, it'll just come out messy and just gross, you know. And that's kind of why I try to spread it out as much as possible, because I know if I technically work on it in 1 or 2 sitting, I would just get pretty much sick of it, and I would just throw it out and be like, screw this video or something like that. And so I tried my best to kind of spread out my time into a few days at a time. If I don't feel like painting, I just don't. And I also have this other video I work on the side, which is another Little's Pet Shop custom, which I'm currently working on right now. It still needs painting because I just technically finished sculpting, and the reason the sculpting took so long is because I kind of have to wait for like each layer of clay to dry so I can work on the top layer, so I won't mess up the layer underneath it. Does that make sense? I don't know, but I hope it does. And so that's kind of why it took so long to do. And that clay probably took like about 5 to 6 hours of curing, and I'm like, heck, why can't you dry faster? And so I have to spread out a lot. So when I don't feel like painting, I work on that other video instead. So I kind of have 2 videos going at the same time, which is good. I'm multitasking, which is nice. I don't want to spoil anything for that Little's Pet Shop custom video, but I mean, if you go to my Instagram, to my shop Instagram, you may have a little bit of a sneak peek. But it's still in the process of filming, and I'll start coloring the actual thing probably today when I'm finished recording this voiceover, and just start working on other stuff because I feel like I have other stuff to do, and I also have a commission I need to finish. So yeah. Also, if you guys want to commission me, it's currently closed right now, but I'll be opening them pretty soon because I have to just finish this commission that I'm working on right now, finish this video and the Little's Pet Shop custom, and then I'll be open for commissions. So yeah, and doing commissions is pretty fun actually. I've been getting like 2 or 3 commissions lately, and they're pretty fun. And so even though they're kind of tiring because I don't really draw digitally as much, and most of the commissions I get were on digital medium something, I don't know, but mostly it is digital because they kind of requested digital, so it's kind of tough. So I've been slowly working on them, but I did let them know that I'll take a while because I'm just not used to digital. So yeah, if you want to commission me, you just gotta wait for a bit. So yeah. So what I'm doing right now is a little technique I wanted to mention. When I'm coloring the Seafoam, I don't really know what you call it. I'm just gonna call it Seafoam for simplicity. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. So yeah, you know, like the little white lines in the waves. So when I'm coloring that, I technically just took like a very rough brush and just kind of roughly go over it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I try to keep that in mind and just kind of go in roughly, and when I'm done, I take my original green color that I mixed for the body of water, and I mixed it with a lot of water, so I diluted it, and then I paint over the white parts, which like tinted it a little bit, which is like a technique I somehow have not known about until now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this works really well. And so if you wanted to paint like waves or something, this technique works really well. So yeah, here's a little technique from me. I'm not the first to came up with this, definitely, but it's something that I just found out. And here I'm technically going in with the second layer of the Seafoam, and it works really well, and it kind of has this like depth to it, which I really like. So I'm really proud of that. And yeah, so when I'm painting Seafoam, I'm technically keeping in mind that it doesn't really have to be perfect, because the actual foam itself in the body of water, when I see in the pictures and in real life, they aren't technically I guess you can say neat, because they go everywhere. So I try to keep that in mind for most of the time and just kind of like go messy at it, so it would look more natural and stuff like that. But the picture I was referencing had a lot of Seafoam, so it was kind of hard to dull it down so it wouldn't look too contrasty with the actual body of water itself. So it was really hard to do that. So I tried my best to dull it down, but not to the point where you can't really see it, like you can't really make out what's going on. But I hope you understand what I'm going for here, and yeah, I just hope it makes sense at this point. And so I try not to really rush it that much. I try to go slow, and that's kind of the reason why I sped this video up so high. I sped it to like 900 times or something, and it's like it's going super fast because like when I'm actually painting, I go super slow because I try not to mess it up. So yeah, that's why this video is abnormally fast, I guess. And another thing I really wish I would have done, and I'll give advice to you now, is to use a palette knife when you're mixing your acrylics. And yes, I'm using acrylics when I'm painting this. I'm not using oil paint or anything. It's just way too hard for me. But so when you're mixing your acrylics, you may want to use a palette knife, because the two individual paints that I use to mix the color of body of water that I'm painting right now is technically a mixture between like a turquoise green and a sap green. So I mixed those two together and I used a brush to mix it, and those individual colors get stuck deep in the brush, and when I paint on it, those individual colors kind of just got on the canvas, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm gonna have to paint this whole section again. And I could have just wiped it off, but like, acrylics dry fast, and I have my air conditioning on when I'm painting, so it dries really fast, and I have to end up repainting the area again, which is a pain in the butt to do. But yeah, and I really wish I would have get a palette knife or like a ruler or something to just mix my paint before I paint it. So lesson learned, and advice to you guys: don't technically use your paintbrush to mix your paints. This also goes with oil painting. I've actually heard other artists say don't mix your oil paints with your brush, because the oils actually get stuck inside the brush and it'll just be a pain in the ass to clean. So yeah, just use a palette knife or something that isn't your brush. Like how I use it, I use a paper clip to mix my paint. So yeah, or just use like a ruler or something, so you won't have to spend money on an actual palette knife. I realize when I'm painting the wave above, like painting quote unquote more waves in the wave, does that make any sense? I don't know. But when I'm doing that, I realize that the lines aren't really perfect, and I told you guys that you don't have to be precise on the lines following the picture, because technically you're interpreting the picture from your head. So I figured, hey, let's just go loose. And later I went in with my base color, which is the color I used to paint the wave itself, and I kind of went around the lines, and I realized that a lot of wave painting artists does this, including Robin Sealarks, a painting YouTuber that I've been following for a long time. And I did mention her in my last painting video, but she did change her name to Robin Sealark. So she's really nice, she's really cool, and she paints really well. So I kind of take this technique from her, and I was like, huh, it does make the wave look more believable, I guess. But I didn't execute it well enough in this painting, I guess, but I hope I can execute it better, that's the word, better in a next painting of mine. Okay, off topic real quick. I recently posted a community post on my community post tab that what would you guys think if I made myself a singing channel, kind of like a channel where I do covers of original songs from artists, you know, something like that, you know, like the regular cover music channel. I always wanted to do that, but I never got the chance because I was way too self-conscious in my own voice. And I know I get some people on Instagram telling me like, wow, your voice is amazing on YouTube, and I'm like, thank you, because I never get something like that before. And I'm just really happy that you guys like this dull and sometimes jittery voice. So I was thinking, since I love singing, maybe I would make a cover channel, and I asked you guys about it, and some of you did say that yes, do it, and now I'm pumped. So maybe I'll make a channel, and if I did, I'll let you guys know, because I'm gonna start working on the banner, the icon, and my first video on that channel, I guess, and I'll let you guys know, like, definitely I'll let you guys know. So thank you guys for encouraging me to do this. It's been my dream since I started YouTube. So, and the reason why I choose the art side of YouTube is because I was way too self-conscious, like I said before, and I feel like I could express it way better with my art instead of my own voice, because my voice is very squeaky and it's still very squeaky when I sing. So I'm still self-conscious about that, but we'll see. So yeah, thank you guys for encouraging me. Okay, back to the painting. As you can see, I did repaint this little section. Like I said, the paint dried on me and I'm like, I gotta remix this again, and I didn't get the right color and I ended up mixing the whole area again, which sucks, but life, what can you say? So I did redo it, and I gotta say I really like this one better than the one before, but I wish I could have somehow fixed that last one so I wouldn't go through the hassle of technically mixing the colors again, even though it's technically like a small space, but still a pain in the butt to do. And here I'm adding more like seafoam and stuff like that. I saw a lot of artists did this, and especially Robin Sealark. I see her do these like little bubbles on the water, and I know that's like seafoam and stuff like that, and for realistic purposes, but I'm like, I think it looks cool, so I'm gonna add that too. So yeah, even though it probably doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I like it. So yeah, and for the sea in the distance, I didn't want to put too much effort into it. I just kind of wanted to be a flat color. At first I was going for like a wavy look, just like my reference picture, but I figured it may draw attention to it more than I wanted to, so I kind of just leave it like that. And I gotta say, I got really lazy, so yeah, that's also why I don't want to work on this in one full setting. And if I get lazy at some point, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm done for today. I'm not gonna mess up this painting because I came way too far. So yes, and now I'm coloring or painting the little bubbles, seafoam that like splashes together. And you know, this is the thing I'm painting right now. I don't know what you call it, okay? I'm just gonna call it seafoam, like I said before. So I try to go messy because I want it to look as natural as possible. And another tip, another advice, if you want to do this, I recommend you use like a toothbrush or something, so that you can just like speckle it on and it will look natural. This also works with like galaxies or something. I don't know why I've never thought of using a paintbrush, or not a paintbrush, a toothbrush before, but yeah, I'm gonna use a toothbrush next time if I'm gonna make a wave painting. So yeah, lesson learned for me, use a toothbrush to make like those little water splats, I guess. And besides, if I use my brush, I'm technically just ruining my brush because it's just gonna go I don't know, it's just gonna ruin the bristles of the brush. So yeah, next time, toothbrush. So yep. So here I am adding more details to the wave itself. At this point, I'm not really following the reference picture. I just do whatever the hell I want at this point, because like the reference picture was stressing me out so bad, and I was like, it doesn't look the same. And so I was like, screw the picture, I'm going off of my head. And so I made these like weird lines in the wave to represent the actual water coming down. So, and I think that looks pretty cool. I don't know what you guys think, but I like it. So maybe I'll do that more. Yeah, and I really like painting waves now that I look at it. It's actually really fun. I need to start working on like normal landscapes, like, you know, trees, mountains, and stuff like that. I feel like painting waves is just so much more fun because you get to be more expressive with your lines and stuff like that. Even though pretty much all paintings you can be expressive with your lines, it just kind of depends how you interpret the picture. But I like painting waves, and I'm definitely doing more of this because I just bought like more MDF board and more canvases, so I'm definitely doing more of this in the future. I have no idea when, but yeah, I'm gonna do it at some point, maybe on my own spare time, and I'll post it on my Instagram or something like that. If you guys want more, I'll just do it because that's what you guys want. Oh, and also the reason, or the main reason why I wanted to film this video in the first place is because, one, I wanted to use my remaining canvases that I have never touched in probably over 5 months, and two, I wanted to use my new easel. If you can tell, I actually got a new easel and it was on sale, so yeah, it wasn't the best quality, but like my dad got me sanding paper and he sanded the actual rough surfaces of the actual easel. So it's actually really nice now, and I really like it. So it's actually perfect for painting because it came with like this huge rubber band that I can put I can put it around my canvas so it can lift up like you can see here, and I can paint the bottom without actually messing up the actual easel itself. And I think that's very useful, and it's useful for when you're using reference pictures as well. You can put the reference picture up on the like little rubber band thing, just kind of put it under the rubber band and it'll hold it up. It's really nice. I haven't tried that yet though, but I did try it with my phone and it held up. Like when I wanted to watch YouTube videos or something, I'll just put that rubber band on and slid my phone under, and it's just gonna stay up there. It actually works really well. And yeah, it's nice. It's, yeah, not like actually, or no, it's actually really nice. So I really recommend you getting this, or maybe get something better than this, probably maybe in your price range, but this one I did got it on sale, so I think it was worth money. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I'll leave like a link in the description if you want to go check it out on Amazon or something. I got this off of like a normal stationery store, so I don't know if there's gonna be one on Amazon, but I'll leave a brand, like the brand that this easel is, like the brand of the easel. Let's just name it at that. So yeah, I can't talk today, oh my gosh. But yeah, if you guys are interested, I'll leave the brand in the description, and maybe if I can find it on Amazon, I'll leave a link there too. So for the finishing touches, I ended up painting the alongside of the canvas. I know I don't really have to do this, but I want to because it made it look professional and pretty neat. And even though it requires me painting, or no, mixing the same colors, which is kind of hard to get because, you know, it's just gonna be like that tiny bit of a difference, but it's okay. And it's pretty much a hassle to paint it because you had to make a gradient, because like the waves are kind of like a gradient. But like, I'm not gonna complain even though I am complaining, but I think it's worth it, and I really like how it looks, and I'm really glad that I did paint the edges. Even though it's a hassle, I think it's worth it, and nobody can tell me otherwise. So I try to leave as many blanks in this video as much as possible because I know you guys don't really want to hear me talk 24/7. But anyway, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys like it, and keep on the lookout for another Little's Pet Shop custom. I have no idea when that is going to be out, but pretty soon, I hope. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.